Now, we're going to show you what are generally called infrastructure stocks. Vulcan Materials, Fluor Corporation, that kind of thing. These are infrastructure stocks. All of them have been up since the election 3 weeks ago because President Trump clearly wants to spend big on fixing bridges, tunnels, roads, airports, etc., etc., etc. There's more infrastructure stocks. All of them up since the election. Our next guest says we can afford all of these improvements and that they will give the economy a whopping great boost. Here's the headline of his article that he just wrote. Trump's infrastructure program, it could deliver a powerful punch and be affordable too. Peter Morici is the man who wrote that article, economics professor. Now, clearly, it's going to juice the economy. That is stimulus. But what's this about it's affordable? We can pay for it. How's that going to work?
Well, some of it can be paid for with user fees, but not as much as proponents of that would say. But what about all that offshore profits that we have? If we gave corporations a cut rate, say half off on their offshore profits of $2.5 trillion, we would get $350 billion right there, and Trump wants to spend $500 billion. That, along with a small increase in the gas tax, we can get this done. The real problem is the Obama administration was so inept they couldn't manage it. They had a $320 billion infrastructure in their stimulus, and they only spent $50 billion on roads, bridges, transit, and so forth. The rest went for green projects, health research, and God knows what.
Pull it all together, Peter. We're going to spend big on infrastructure, spend big on the military. We're going to cut taxes. We're going to put a whole bunch of money in through that tax cut. Have you ever seen a stimulus program like as big as this one before?
Well, I think what we have in the Reagan days, when you look at the size of that tax cut, and that's likely in the range that we're going to get, we're not going to get the kind of deficit-busting tax cut that was was the campaign proposal, but we'll get something like the House bill, and that's in that line. And Reagan accomplished 4.5% growth. The Democrats can't quit. David Ledenhart today in the New York Times said, the economy does better with Democrats and high taxes than Republicans with low taxes. Well, golly, now that the Obama administration is wrapping up 2.1% growth for his recovery. At the same time, at the same point in the Reagan recovery, we had 4.5. This stuff works. It works big time. But you got to get the money out. You got to get the money spent. You got to go around the bureaucracy. And you really can't reform the bureaucrats, but you have to go around them.
I need your comment on this. We had Steve Moore on the program yesterday, Trump economic advisor. Here's what he said in response to that report, that 8 million people will have their taxes raised under President-elect's tax plan. Roll that tape, and then you can comment, Peter.
We have made a priority that if you're paying taxes, you can take this to the bank. If you have a tax burden, under Donald Trump's plan, your tax is going to go down. It's not going to go up. So if there are people who will fall through the cracks, we're going to fix that.
You think they're going to fix it, Peter?
Yes, I do, except for maybe folks that are really abusing the system, say the carried interest problem. Donald Trump talked about doing away with that. I mean, if you are, making $20 million a year and most of it's in stock options, you're going to get a tax increase. But ordinary working Americans, middle-class people, the folks that Hillary Clinton wouldn't even deign to go out and meet in Wisconsin, will be getting tax cuts.
All right, Peter Morici, keep that bow tie nicely done there, son, because you're going to need peace of mind when you go back to your university today, and that's a fact. All right, Peter, thank you very much indeed, sir.